making offers on real estate and maybe what you need to let your agent know. Now, this is not dependent on any particular market. Well, let me say this. It's not dependent on most markets. All I know is our local market and how the strategy works from agent to agent. Some agents are very quick to try to ask about any kind of possibilities when it comes to writing offers on properties. They'll call you as the listing agent, and a lot of times they want to try to do pre-offer negotiations. The issue with that is unless an agent has their seller's consent, and I would get this in writing, that they can do some kind of negotiating strategy with another agent that has a potential buyer, then I would say they shouldn't be doing that. The question usually comes in, what will your sellers take? What are their obligations? How motivated are they? Well, if the house is on the market, they're probably motivated. As far as what they're going to take, let's look at the listing price. That's probably a good reference point. Will they take less? I don't know. Have you had the conversation with them whether they would take less or not? Again, that's something between my sellers and myself. I'm not being difficult, but the fact of the matter is my sellers hire me to do a job. That job is to sell their house. At what terms? At their terms, whatever those are. If they want to give their house away, then my job would be to sell their house so they can give it away. If they want to make as much money as possible, again, now that becomes my job to get them as much money as possible. But as far as what they will agree to, it's how the listing is poised on the internet, on the MLS for sale, and what that particular price is. Will they take less? I don't know. But the way to do it is not by negotiating with me prior to you submitting an offer. The way to do this is to submit an offer at what your buyers believe is a good value for the property, and then let me take that to my seller. What if that number happens to be so much lower than what the seller expects, they reject your offer? Well, then you know what they're going to take, that they're not going to take that much of a lower offer. Now, I'll suggest this. If you are going to write an offer for less than what the listing price is, then do your homework, Mr. or Mrs. Agent. Go out there and look at the other properties and develop a strategy in writing for your buyer. Now, if your buyer's just doing it because they want to try to steal a property, that's going to be a whole other issue. But if they're doing it based on comps and values, the money that they're going to have to inject into the property and other factors, provide that in real data terminology, real live values that can be proven and seen apples to apples in comparison. What I mean is just don't say arbitrarily, very vague and ambiguous that it matches up with these particular types of properties. Give specific addresses, give specific values. Put in this has a bad bathroom remodel or a complete interior remodel that probably costs in the neighborhood, doing research and round numbers, somewhere around $50,000. That property closed at this amount and happens to be 1 block away, located in the same tract. When my buyers compare that sold listing to your listing, this is why they're offering that amount. And then also maybe include dynamics of the real estate market. Is the market increasing or decreasing? This really isn't a buyer objective or a buyer requirement. This should be up to your agent to do. Right now, with all the fantastic large language models and different kinds of AI out there, putting together these types of offers have become so much easier. For agents, it's a wonder not everybody's doing it. They're able to pull data from sold properties in a particular neighborhood, plug it into ChatGPT or Grok or one of the other large language models, and have it do a good prompt and have it work up a particular offering strategy for the property in question, having uploaded that one too. It's beautiful. So then the buyer is able to make an offer based on facts and real live data that the seller can then look at and make a determination. Maybe the seller isn't willing to go to that point, but at least it will begin negotiations. This ex parte crap between agents really doesn't help move the ball forward in any respect. And in some cases, it could be detriment to both the buyer and the seller. People getting their hopes up. They get emotionally attached to things. They're not looking at this as business. And then, well, then you look like you're a moron. Watch out for yourselves. I'm Connor with Honor. We'll see you in the next one.